All right. So thank you, Jared, for taking the time to talk with me today. Um, can you share us a bit about your background?
Yeah, so starting from the beginning, well, my name is Jared Firestone. I live in Miami, Florida. I represent Israel on the Skeleton World Cup team, and my athletic career started running track and field in high school. I was a sprinter. I ran at Tulane University, the 100 meters, and then I briefly retired from sports, went to law school, and during my first semester of law school, I woke up one morning and I had what's called a mini stroke, where basically it's like a small version of a stroke where I couldn't feel my body for a while. I was told you might not be able to play sports again. Eventually, I was cleared by doctors, but during that time, I realized not to take things for granted and vowed that if I got cleared, I would get back to chasing my original dream when I was running track, which was to represent Israel in the Olympics one day. Coincidentally, the same week that I was cleared by doctors, it was the 2014 Olympics in Sochi, Russia. I saw skeleton happening. I said that looks like something I should try. End up going to a Team USA tryout the next fall, made the Team USA development team, and after 3 years of learning how the sport works and improving, I decided I was ready to represent Israel the way I wanted to. And I made Aliyah in 2019 and just finished my fourth season representing Israel skeleton team.
Wow. So you are a co-founder of Advancing Jewish Athletics. So can you explain the mission of Advancing Jewish Athletics?
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, Advancing Jewish Athletics is based on the experience I've had as a Jewish athlete in sort of a non-traditional sport. My co-founder, AJ Edelman, who's on Israel's bobsled team, the biggest challenge for us has been getting the support we need to do what we do, which is to represent Israel in a positive manner, both on the ice or on the court, whatever it is for anyone, but also off the field. We interact with hundreds of people in our sport, and including fans, and other athletes and coaches and people who just work at the tracks. Every season that we're out there, we have opportunities to represent Israel in international competition, world championships, Olympics. And besides the people we meet, we know there's Jewish kids at home watching, and we believe the impact of sport is very important, whether you become a professional athlete or not. Just being part of that sport community, especially within the Jewish community, really helps you form connections and pride to your Jewish identity. So the issue was that it was, despite all those benefits, it was difficult to get the funding we needed to be out there. And we realized we're probably not the only ones experiencing this. There's got to be athletes across many other sports who, because there's no infrastructure supporting them, they can't be out there representing Israel, inspiring young Jewish kids, changing the minds, or positively influencing non-Jewish people that we interact with. So we thought, how do we solve this problem? We need to create some sort of community that will support the athletes who could be doing that.
All right. So how do you see Jewish athletics and specifically those representing Team Israel being able to support like Jewish pride?
Yeah, so I mean, for me personally, every time I go down the ice, I have a giant Star of David, like a David, on my helmet, and just knowing that my performance, I'm being a direct, people are seeing that and directly relating it to, and everybody knows Israel's a Jewish state, so I'm not just representing Israel, I'm kind of representing all Jewish people. So when an athlete's out there wearing the blue and white or wearing Team Israel, whatever it is, they're a reflection and of the Jewish community, and they have an opportunity to show our strength in a way. We do, unfortunately, there's always a running joke about Jews in sports, which I think even statistically is not true, but to be out there kind of showing it in real time it's definitely a great chance to make a difference, and it's definitely a responsibility. Um, if I felt like I couldn't compete well while representing Israel, I wouldn't want to be out there, because it's important for me for Israel and Jewish people to be in the best light.
What are some other challenges of being a Jewish athlete?
Other challenges, okay, besides what I just mentioned,
Yeah.
yeah. So of course, when I go to places, our sport is heavily based in Europe. So when I go to places, uh, say in Germany, Austria, you have to be mindful of your surroundings. If I'm a lot of athletes, we're always walking around in our team gear and our ski jackets, uh, and they don't have to think twice about it. Say an athlete from USA or Ireland or Switzerland, but I need to be conscious of who's around. I need to be aware of my surroundings. I can't just be standing around looking at my phone and texting. I have to keep an eye on who's around, especially when I'm in certain cities. And I think, yeah, that's definitely kind of the main experience between me and my competitors, my rivals, my friends from other countries, in terms of being an athlete representing Israel versus an athlete representing any other country.
So, what are your big goals for advancing Jewish athletics?
Yeah, so for advancing Jewish athletics, we want to create that infrastructure when there's an athlete in the future in my position who could be doing more if they had more funds, could be out there at the world championships they otherwise couldn't be at, and not only being there, but performing better there because they've had the ability to have a coach now with the extra funding and support. Instead of coaching themselves, they have the ability to have more training time, to go to more competitions, to get to the point where we're able to support kind of the athletes with the most potential, whether they're Jewish or representing Israel, and making sure that they're able to be out there doing their best. So we have a youth program because we want to cultivate the next generation of athletes, but also the current athletes need to be out there, not just for the impact they can make now, but to serve as the inspiration for that next generation.
So, when will you announce like the first recipients of the grants?
Right. So we've informed the recipients already. There's 6 of them. There's 2 youth athletes, a boy and a girl, and then we have 2 men and 2 women who also received the grants. We're trying to coordinate it with a major press release and an exclusive interview with a large publication. So hopefully in the next month we'll have all the names out there and the full press release. But we're very excited about the 6 winners, and there's some really special athletes who not only are great on the field but also off the field.
That's great. Wow. So what advice would you give to young Jewish athletes?
Um, yeah, I would say to just the Jewish people are very strong historically, starting with David and Goliath, or before that. We always overcome. We know how to fight, not literally fight, but of like competing our best and representing our people in the best way possible. So I would say just try everything. You could do whatever you put your mind to, and the main thing is just get out there on the field, give it your all, take advantage of any resources you have, any people you could talk to, any coaches you have available, and just work really hard.
So, who are some of your Jewish athletic heroes, or just Jewish heroes in general?
Okay, so that's a great question. Jewish athletic heroes. Hmm. So there's a lot to choose from.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh, let's say Sandy Koufax is an easy one.
Yep.
Just being so committed
Yep.
to put yourself out there in that way, to work so hard to get somewhere, and then to make a stand like that obviously is very special. So I would say Sandy Koufax for Jewish athletes. And then overall athletes, I look at Jesse Owens a lot as an inspiration. Uh, Somebody who was able to uh, also in a similar way, just take a stand for what he believed in, realize the importance of having athletes out there representing people. A lot of people wanted to boycott, understandably, that Olympics, and but he knew that going out there and beating the Nazi team would be a real statement. And also just on a personal level, he did a lot of his qualifying while dealing with back spasms. I think he broke a national record on a day where he could barely get out of bed. And
Wow.
for me as somebody who's often dealing with little injuries, I try to pull inspiration from that.
Yeah, especially you having the prior track knowledge and prior track experience. That
Mm-hmm.
must be moving. So,
Exactly.
can you share a favorite moment of being an athlete representing Israel?
Yeah. So probably for me, the highlight was in December this
Yep.
past year, 2022, winning Israel's first gold medal in a sliding sport. I'd come very, very close. I had 6 silver and bronze medals in the 2 years prior, and the year before specifically, and this exactly a year before I won this gold. I had a massive lead going into the last run of the day,
Yeah.
and I just barely lost it. So coming back this year, um, getting the gold, it was very challenging on my second run again. By sled, when I was pushing it, it came out of the groove and it started like hitting the walls before I even got going. And nobody really can overcome that. And just being able, like, having the presence of mind to be in the moment, even with everything that was on at stake, and holding on to the lead. And then obviously the going on the podium after hearing Hatikva, that was the highlight for me.
So, are you in any future upcoming like sliding events or like of course the Winter Olympics? They're the next in 2026. So, what are your plans for the future in terms of competing?
Yeah, so I need DK's lineup to sell many, many shirts to help me. But no, I'm kidding. Yeah, so right now, yeah, again, going back to these issues that inspire me to co-found Advancing Jewish Athletics, it's hard for me to get out there. I'm competing against guys that are funded by their governments,
Wow.
their job basically. I have my own law firm I have to deal
Yeah.
with, and for myself, and I'm getting older. I have to consider other things. But I will be competing, and God willing, in the World Cup Lake Placid in March in 2024, which was the race I missed out on last year when I injured my bicep. So that I know for sure. I'm gonna try to get out there, do some training, so that I make sure I represent Israel to the best of my abilities when I'm out there, and then hopefully do well, get some more sponsorships, and then make a run at the 2026 Olympics.
Awesome. Yeah. So good luck in
Thanks.
those. Good luck for March, and yeah, good luck in the training. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with me. And yeah.